Wow, pretty unbelievable. So is this willful blindness or unacceptable incompetence from our chief executive officer? Here with reaction, Fox News contributors Eric Erickson and Leslie Marshall. Leslie, I might surprise you on one part of this. I actually think we should be spying on some friends and allies or supposed allies at times. I don't really have a problem with it, but the idea that he knew nothing about Merkel and all these other world leaders, knew nothing about it, but it's been going on 5 years. I don't believe him. What does that tell you?
Well, first of all, one thing you know about politicians, left or right, our president included, they're very careful with their wording. He didn't say he didn't know about 35 or these programs. And, of course, it is the Obama administration, the White House, that put a halt to it.
Wait a minute. Wait. He had no idea the website
he did not know of Angela Merkel's cell phone.
Hang on one second. He didn't know about the healthcare website had a problem, according to Sebelius. The IRS targeting, he read in news reports. Fast and Furious, he read in news reports. Knew nothing about the DOJ targeting or Benghazi. Not me. I didn't know anything. I don't believe any of it.
Well, I was talking to you about, in response to what you said about NSA. I wasn't addressing all those others, but I will if you give me the time.
Okay, go.
The healthcare site, there's no question that was a debacle. I'm a Democrat, I admit to that. But if we really believe that any commander-in-chief is going to sit down, whether it was Medicare when that went online, whether it is healthcare when it goes online, and that he's going to be sitting along next to all the IT people and even Kathleen Sebelius, that's just not realistic. I mean, the president
his signature
is the
legislation. He didn't know. All right, let me go to Eric because I want to get everybody in. Eric, if he didn't know,
he wouldn't know it's broken until people go on and try to come on board.
They all knew ahead of time. I would think he'd want to be briefed on that. I don't believe it, but if he didn't know that Chancellor Merkel was being and being her phone tapped, then who made that decision to do it? And if he didn't make it,
Sean, that's just it. Seem to know who the buck stops with on anything in this administration, from Obamacare to the NSA to Fast and Furious, you name it. Nothing ever comes back to him, and that's fine if that's true, but then who does it go to? Valerie Jarrett, Joe Biden, Eric Holder? Who? The administration doesn't seem to want to know that, and they won't hold anyone else responsible either. Who's going to get fired over these things? Right now, the Democrats on Capitol Hill want to go out and attack the contractors. What about the people who hired the contractors?
Leslie, let me ask you, that's a good question that Eric's asking. If somebody else made the decision to spy on our ally, if nobody told the president that the rollout was going to be a disaster, if you were in the private sector, wouldn't you be fired?
No question about the latter. But when it comes to NSA, that's very different. As you know, the president, no matter what their party, is briefed on several surveillance programs. The
so we can spy on Chancellor Merkel, and somebody else makes that decision?
If he was not told that Angela Merkel's cell phone and her communications were being monitored, then the president is being
well, seriously, who would make that decision?
Then
does anyone else?
The head of the NSA.
And you think that's appropriate, that they can make the decision to spy on Chancellor Merkel on their own? They could just go out and spy on anybody they want.
If you remember, when the president became president, he had to give up his BlackBerry, which he didn't want to do. And do you know why he had to do that, Sean? Because many people, including our allies, would easily be able to obtain his cell phone, easily be able to obtain that information. We are doing it.
I want to know who's making that decision.
It's just out in the open.
I don't have a problem with us doing it, but he needs to take responsibility.
Go ahead.
He needs to take responsibility. It's his administration. It's not anyone else's. This is the Obama administration. It's his fault if he didn't know about it. He should be held accountable if he's not going to hold anyone else accountable.
All right, guys.
He apologized, and you got on him for that.
He reads a lot in the news report. He gets a lot of his news about scandals from us in the news business. Not that I am a commentator. I'm not a news person. We'll leave that to Shep. All right, guys, good to see you both.